What do you say, baseball fans? Rye Bread talking baseball episode 90. No Niners in there. Rays get a big one yesterday. 7-1 Rays. Big W against the Blue Jays. 4 innings from McClanahan. Needed 91 pitches to do it. He looked tough. He had his stuff. The slider was looking sharp. And that arm side run of his on the fastball is just unhittable at times. He still winds up getting himself in trouble. His damage is done when he's got 2 outs. They showed an interesting blurb on it during the game. 14 runs with 2 outs. And it changes the game. It changes his stats. His numbers could be a heck of a lot different because that ERA is creeping up above 4, but it seems like he's been more effective than that. And it also helps. The guys who come in behind him seem to do well because it's just such a radically different arm slot and speed. So Ray's bullpen does it again yesterday. It's almost like you're not surprised. They were struggling while the team was struggling, and that was kind of no shit. When the bullpen is giving up a bunch of runs, you don't win the game. Just ask the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen because they have struggled mightily against the Rays. Ji-Man Choi, yesterday, he is absolutely the engine that makes that team go. When Ji-Man is hitting, the Rays are winning. And that's just how it goes. We love Ji-Man, especially since he's got a landscaper. Woo! That little base card is cool, but this is my wife's favorite player, actually, Ji-Man. She loves Ji-Man. And so do we. Tae Han-wing Goop. We love the Korean players. And if you're the Rays, I'm surprised they don't have more marketing because, man, those Koreans will wear MLB gear. It's fashionable. It's chic. And since there's a Korean player on your team, I'm sure the marketing, since I left, has gone through the roof for the Rays. It was all Yankees and Indians and some Texas when Shin-Soo Choo was playing. Oh, man, my Korean is leaving me. Chu, the guy with the on-base percentage monster for Texas. Man, I'm really losing it. This one I wanted to show just while we had it handy. That is a beautiful Cronenworth. These rookie Cronenworths. The reason I bring it up is I hit on a Fernando Tatis Jr. autograph, Luis Patino autograph, and a Jake Cronenworth autograph, all in the same break because I had purchased the San Diego Padres in the break for like $20, $27 I think is what it ended up costing me. And I got those 3 autos. Plus I took Boston for nothing and got a Hawk auto. So the breaks are where it's at. We're trying to incorporate the cards more. We found this other Manoah I was looking at the other day. He was okay last night, but this is what I'm talking about by the 3 and 3. Let me see if I can brutally do that. 3 lines. It's hard to get the focus. It's HD. The 3 and 3 on that Manoah. This is the one that we were looking for before and couldn't find. Try and get that sent off because I want to know what's what. I'm going to send a 3-4 and a 3-3, and I can listen to what people tell me, or I can go see for myself. It's going to cost me $30 to find out. Another thing from that game, Mike Wheels Zunino taking third base. The All-Star Mike Wheels Zunino. That was awesome. Teoscar got a little lazy out there in left field, and the Rays capitalized. That's what the Rays do. They run the bases, they do the little things, and they win ball games. And helping them do that all year has been Mr. Joey Wendell. Rumor has it Joey's going to be in the All-Star game. Joey! He was the only guy hitting for the Rays for a while there. He's come back to earth, but man, he still gets the big hit when you need it. And if you were watching the game yesterday, that left side defense for the Rays was ridiculous again. Taylor Wall's underrated as a shortstop. He's already among the league leaders in defensive runs saved. He's been playing for a month. So we've been just steadily adding to the collection. These are all Bowman Chrome first for Taylor Walls because they were giving these things away. Nobody knew who the hell he was. And now, not so much. Speaking of being able to, I think I got this card for about $8. This is an Adolis Garcia rookie auto. And if you're the St. Louis Cardinals and you're reeling right now, losing to the Cubs, who just came out and said they're going to be sellers at the deadline. You see these two guys? You notice anything in common about these two dudes, about the uni they're wearing? How do you like that? Oh, mercy. Man, it's a tough break for the Cards. Two just amazing players getting away because Adolis Garcia won a game again for the Rangers with a knock. Rangers win 3-2 over the A's. You know we're an A's house. We love the A's in here, but we also love Adolis Garcia because he's a man, the madcap. Exciting player. And Boston, my God, 11-5 over the Phillies. Remember we kept talking about how the Phillies pitching was going to be the difference in the East, and we're taking the Phillies because they can pitch and they got some hitters too. Just getting shelled again. Boston's a good lineup, but man, Phillies need to figure something out. Cubs are going to sell. Kyle Hendricks now 11-4 with a 3.77 ERA. Now, it's a little misleading because he had a rough April. He gave up 10 home runs in April. And then since then, he's given up 10 home runs. So it's almost, 2.5 months now. And his ERA over that time is about 2.5. If you start his ERA at May, which you don't, all the numbers count, but his trend is a pitcher that's a sub-3 ERA, and he's got 11 wins for a Texas team that's not that good. I mean, for a Cubs team that's not that good. We've switched over to the Cubbies. So Kyle Hendricks, man, he's going to make a difference for somebody. Everybody needs pitching. Cubs are going to have a blank check here. I don't know if somebody's going to mortgage too much. That's why I think the Rays are probably out on Hendricks because it's going to cost too much, and they don't give up their farm system, which is why they have the best farm system. Now we go back to Cronenworth. Cronenworth's a guy that they did deal, but man, they had such a glut of talent. You've got Bruhan coming in as a defensive substitution in the outfield, for crying out loud. The guy's a man. Wander wasn't so hot yesterday. Wander's definitely better from the right side of the plate. He looks a heck of a lot more comfortable, but he's going to be batting from the left side if he starts today because it's Stripling at Yarbrough. Yarbrough, you never know what you're going to get. I still don't know why they're so stubborn about using an opener in front of Yarbrough. It seems like if you had a hard-throwing right-hander and then you brought Yarbrough in later, it would be different, but I'm not going against the Rays. There's a reason why I'm not the manager of that team. But my goodness, Yarbrough just seems to do so much better when he has the opener. I'm going to get off it, though, because obviously they're not doing that anymore. An interesting note about McClanahan, too. I know I'm bouncing all over today, but I'm trying to get at you early on a Saturday here, and I didn't put together the notes as thoroughly as I usually do. My mistake. McClanahan, 91 pitches through 4 innings. It's not a great trend, but you see young pitchers battle through this, and I think his stuff is going to play up. And, of course, 91 pitches is a lot in 4 innings, but I think it was almost like walking the tightrope, but it didn't feel like they were really in that much danger. It was an odd thing with McClanahan. But it was only 4 innings. And then he got saved by the bullpen, as we mentioned earlier. And we have to mention the D-backs beat the Dodgers. That's a game they need. The Giants take care of business, as do the Padres, keeping that NL West as the status quo. I'm just pulling for the Giants to cruise into the All-Star break ahead in that division. We've been following that pretty much from the start here. East-West, New York Yankees at Astros continue their series. Remember, Greinke's a little better on the road, and Cole hasn't been as good as he was with the spidery stuff. So we'll see how Houston handles that at home. I think Houston is due. They dropped one yesterday. Yankees needed a win, got it. And then you've got Fried at Rogers. Acuna gets hit with a slider yesterday. He's taken offense. He's been hit too many times. So I hope that doesn't degenerate into some kind of beanball thing. Rogers has their best chance to win a ball game. So I imagine that they'll, at least if it stays close, they're not going to mess around with that anymore. Max Fried at Trevor Rogers. That's your pitching matchup of the day, in my estimation. Sellers at the deadline, we got away from it. Bryant and Donaldson. Kris Bryant from the Cubs as well could make a big difference for a lot of teams. But again, who's going to pay prospects for a rental? And I don't think the Rays are in the market for really either of those guys just because of the price. My mad bum thing is still out there, just a little playoff moxie. Somebody with a little, grease in his veins. No, I guess you call it dirt. Did he just say grease in his veins? I had to cut it after that. Dirt in his veins. Mad Bum's got all the playoff experience you'd ever need. And before we go, if you did not see Shohei Ohtani's home run, his 33rd of the year, just a reminder, Shohei can do it all. He can hit it, and he can throw it. And he is the best player. We'll see if he remains the MVP. I saw Vladdy's batting average is stupid. So that Triple Crown is within reach. Now looks to be 5 back of Shohei, who just cannot do anything wrong. Upper deck in Seattle. Will Middlebrook said the black matte batter's eye in Seattle makes it really easy for guys to see the ball, and wow, he sure did. He's 5 rows deep in the upper deck. It's going yard. And it said 463 feet, and I do not believe it. Because it's a torpedo. The thing is just getting out of here in a hurry. And it's not a surprise with Mr. Majestic. He's got that Darryl Strawberry-esque moonshot. If you know what I mean. Love watching Shohei. He is the favorite along with Joey Gallo in the home run derby. Now, I've seen some guys struggle after the home run derby. I hope that doesn't happen to Shohei, man. He's on a tear. But no matter what Shohei does, it doesn't seem to matter because the Angels lost again. We have respect for the Mariners. We've been on the Mariners all year. They're a lot better than people realize out there out west. The Rally Kid went crazy for Seattle yesterday. The kid blew up Twitter. Got the people going. His milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. That kid was awesome. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out. He got a little props from the team, from the coach. It was pretty cute. This little kid was just going nuts for the M's. All right, we're going long today, and we're a little bit sketched out. So get at me on Twitter, at RyeBread0844. Don't forget, Bascom's Chop House, St. Pete, Tampa, Clearwater. That's where you want to go for a steak or a nice bottle of wine. And if your travel plans are in the surfing variety, head out there to Bravo Beach Resort, Siargao Island, the Philippines. You will not be disappointed. And, of course, those boys over there at Pirate Castle know how to have a good time. So hopefully we'll see you out there. That would be wonderful. We'll be back again tomorrow. Going to do 162.